Hi there, Eats and Markham here. Welcome to Saturday morning at 9:15. There's no better time than a Saturday morning at 9:15 to do an Overshare Saturday because I didn't have time to do content on Friday. Also, I'm at the Henkel's warehouse sale. They open at 10, so this is a Saturday. If you're watching this, the Henkel's warehouse sale is going on today. It opens at 10, and I failed to get in last time. So I'm gonna try to get in this time by arriving early. I brought a chair, and I'm going to sit down over there in that line to make some content on Overshare Saturdays. Overshare Saturdays is the behind the scenes of the Eats and Markham channel where we talk about this week's content, next week's content, and everything in between. So join me as I go sit at the end of that line over there as we overshare just a little bit. While I did bring a chair, I'm just realized I can just go sit on that railing over there. So I'm gonna just put this back in my car. And while I walk back to my car, let's talk about this week's video. This week's video is a return trip back to Koisakana, one of my favorite ramen joints. I really do think they are a hidden gem in the West Markham area. And it's a husband-wife team. They make really good ramen. It's their own take. The noodles are not your regular ramen noodles. It's like a specially commissioned alkaline noodle that's kind of a cross between ramen, Japanese ramen, and wonton noodles. And they do some really specialty adventurous ramen. On the frontal, they have a picture of a bowl of ramen with an ice cream cone in it. And of course, right next to it is a bowl of udon, curry udon with a chocolate bar. And that's what my friend got this week. All right, coffee acquired. I'm walking back into my line. So the chocolate curry udon is very unique. It looks weird, but it is not weird. It was explained to me that most Japanese curry usually has a sweet component to it. It's either like a fruit juice or sugar or even coffee. And it's usually added to the pot, but in this case, it's not added to the pot. It is added to your bowl, and you can mix it in yourself. It's expected that the entire thing would melt, but thank you for holding my spotlight. It's expected for the entire thing to melt into the bowl, and it rounds out the entire bowl of curry very well. It's not one-dimensional, and it's not sweet. It is not a dessert ramen. It's not dessert udon. It's an experience all by itself. It's a visual experience and a taste experience, and it is a taste that you will not forget. Let's talk about the stats of the video this week. The video popped very quickly. It went from 0 to about 4,000 views in about 30 minutes, which is about 2x the velocity that we're used to. And after about 36 hours, we're at 23,000 views. Not too shabby. This is along the same trajectory as Chrisley Cafe. Now, Chrisley Cafe and Koisakana share a few critical components, which is it's popular, people like it, but the main difference is Chrisley's Cafe video showed a brand new restaurant, and people like new things, people like discovering new things, and that continued its upward ramp to over 100,000. Koisakana's been here for a while. What's really interesting about this particular video is that the share count now wildly surpasses the like count at like 2x the amount of shares versus likes. There are a few ways to interpret this. Upon first look of the video, the first 8 seconds, you're seeing a chocolate bar inside a Japanese curry. I mean, some people won't like it, some people think it's disgusting, but I think the majority of people are intrigued. They would not click the like button because it is unusual. But as you watch the video and you get the sense of, oh, this is not just for shock value, this is actually delicious. People start realizing, oh, this is really meant to be shared. I want to tell my friends about this really unique place in Markham. I think that's how I would like to interpret it. It's one of those videos where you can see a very vertical trajectory because of sharing. And as I mentioned before, and I'll say it again, sharing is the fuel for viral videos. The sound of these new Honda hybrids, it just makes them sound like they're floating cars, floating UFO cars. Anyways, we're going to start a new segment this week. It is called Accounts You Should Watch. And as a digital marketer, I do consume quite a bit of social media, especially in the Instagram space. And I do view a variety, and I want to just showcase a few accounts, well, at least once every couple of weeks, accounts that you might be interested in. This week, I want to introduce you to an account called Delivered. These guys are based out of, I believe, North Carolina. And they set up deals for cars. For $1,000, they will negotiate deals to buy your next vehicle. They're not a broker, they're not a dealer. All they do is they pick up the phone and they negotiate the best deals for a flat price. I'll tell you why I really like this account and the personality behind it. The personality behind this account, his name is Tommy. And he's very transparent about his business. He's very transparent about how he does his business, and he does his entire negotiation on video. And now he's also streaming on Twitch. Very interesting fella, and his negotiation methods might not be your cup of tea. It can come off as a little aggressive, but it's very interesting, I think, for myself, is because he makes his entire business transparent for everybody to see. He's not afraid of people stealing his methodology, his ideas, because anyone can pick up the phone, quite honestly, to negotiate a car deal. He just does it really well. And I think this is one of those examples where someone has really mastered the craft and they want to share how his craft works to the world to gain followers. To his credit, he knows selling through social media is a new way to go. I want to quickly talk about what happened to the video last week and the ensuing stats, because I think it's a very interesting view on how the algorithm works on videos you delete and then repost again. So last week I made a mistake on the Lin video. I put the wrong address on it, and I had to recall the video 36 hours later and then repost it with just the new address on the video itself. I changed nothing in the video except for the address. And before I cut it off at 36 hours, it was already at 23,000 views. So it was popular. It was on a straight trajectory. When I reposted it Saturday morning, it was struggling. It went from being told that the video was very engaging to your hook is not engaging and you should try better. The message I saw on Instagram telling me I should try better, but not in those exact words, was discouraging, but also very interesting at the same time. So with nothing changed except for the address, the video itself did not have any material changes. What made the trajectory differ so widely? There are a couple of compounding variants here. The first one being the time of the video release. We usually release videos Thursdays at 1 p.m. We get the maximum number of people on the Thursday and then the Friday watching. The replacement video came out at 9. I think that was the primary driver for a lower view count, because Saturday mornings people usually are still in bed. They're not watching videos yet. But that shouldn't be the only factor that depressed views and depressed the trajectory. And I do have a couple of more theories. There are a couple of factors that come into play on whether or not your video gets syndicated to a wider non-follower audience. And one of those is whether or not your own followers are viewing the video and engaging in the video within the first 3 to 10 seconds of the video. And if your own followers aren't watching the video, it's probably not going to get syndicated. Why do I say that? This is because in the Instagram stats, there was actually something new that got introduced a couple months ago, showing you what the difference between the followers and non-followers are in terms of engagement in the first 3 seconds. Obviously, Instagram is tracking that stat for a reason, and that drives the algorithm to determine if your stuff is going to get syndicated to a wider audience. When we repost something 3 days later, your audience have already seen the video. They're just going to scroll right through. So that probably hurt and kneecapped the video to a non-follower audience syndication as a result. The simplest explanation being the correct explanation would lead one to believe that because the followers of this account, you guys, didn't watch this video past the first 3 seconds, because you've already seen it, you're going to scroll through. It essentially kneecapped the replacement video, and that is fair. I think this was a very interesting experiment that we had run. Unfortunately, it did limit the exposure that Lin On got, and I do apologize to Lin On for having done that. Not that they paid for video, I just feel really badly that the video was doing very well. Hopefully it'll drive a lot more business to them, but the replacement video, not so much, and that was on me. That was my mistake. So apologies to everybody who's watching this, and apologies to Lin On. I'll try to do better, but overall this is a very interesting experiment to have undertaken. Okay, next week's video is going to be on Markham's cheapest lunchbox. I saw a video from Law Lamb Eats a couple of weeks ago. He had a lunchbox experience down in, I think it was in Scarborough, and I think I can top the value portion. It's a place that starts with the word chef and ends in Jafu, and they have a $7.99 lunchbox special. You'll see the video next week, but man, they make everything fresh. This is not a Manchu wok, guys. Nothing comes out of like a giant bucket that they scoop out. Even if they're making like the General Tao chicken or a giant piece of fried chicken on top of rice, everything is just made on the spot when you order it because they have the woks on the go. This is a video that's going to come out next week. Very excited. I really do enjoy eating at Chef Jafu. Their barbecue is legit, and you guys will get to see what a $7.99 lunchbox in Markham looks like. All right, so the line has grown that long now, and that's only in the last, 20 minutes or so. So if you are coming down to the Zwilling/Henkel sale, you're going to be waiting. There's just no other way around it. So park over there, wait over there, and we'll see you inside. Thank you for joining me on this week's Overshare Saturdays, because Fridays was just way too busy. I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you're going to head to the sale, happy shopping. I hope you guys find what you guys want and then some more. And we'll see you guys next week. Have great eats in Markham and in the surrounding areas. Bye for now.